Welcome, everyone.
Blite Nation, what is good?
Ian, Vito, and Liz.
She's back.
I'm
She
back.
has returned.
I have.
For another black and white reaction for you guys. And we're doing it.
2 million views in a day.
Tom MacDonald Snowflakes.
So if this got 2 million views in a day, this has something in it.
So apparently, I've been hearing he's pissed some people off with this. I like that.
The snowflakes is mad. Are they melting?
He's pissing off the snowflakes again.
They melting.
They melting out there. Yes, they are. Their tears are fueling him. I can't wait to see what he's got to say.
Hey man, I'm ready.
As always, we haven't even listened to this yet.
Nope.
We waited till the recording day, as hard as it was.
I think Liz, did you hear this one?
I did.
Is it good or is it?
It's good.
It's good? Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
All right. So she's listened to it, but we haven't, which is
haven't.
weird for Ian that actually held
I
off.
was half awake, half asleep at work when I listened.
Okay, so you might hear
So,
something that you...
Exactly.
Okay, got you.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right, Ian, let's get it rolling.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison.
All right, I like that rock feel right away.
Okay.
I like it, and I like the first bar.
I mean, they do put you in prison if you lie to them. They do. Even if it's like a dumbass lie, too, like a little white ass lie, you go to prison.
But when they lie to us,
Yeah, then it's okay. That's
fine.
it's for the greater good. You know?
see that's what's ridiculous. They can get on camera and lie directly to us.
And they don't go to prison because
No.
it's for the greater good.
Yeah. All right, we'll start over. Go ahead, Tom. We'll let it go for more than 2 seconds.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. When they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician.
Yeah, what I
Yep. Fair
Hey,
enough.
I let it go for 7 seconds. I said I'd let
Hey,
it go
you
for more than
did.
2. I let it go for more than 2.
I called you.
Calm down, baby. I know you like the music. Bella's going a little crazy over there, guys.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. When they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? When you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible,
It's got a point there. Abortion kills more kids every year than guns could ever hope to kill.
We also do lead the world in mass shootings, though.
And you know what constitutes a mass shooting, though?
It's 3 or more, isn't it?
Exactly. Someone robs a convenience store, shoots 3 people. That's considered a mass shooting. So if you actually think about it, no, we don't.
I mean,
If you actually broke it down, because they had to, and they reconstituted it that to make it seem like there's more mass shootings that go on in this country than actually go on.
I get the comparison.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a fair compare. Well, let's ask the woman in the room that actually has gone through childbirth.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
had to make that type
That's a
of
good
decision,
point.
either to keep it or terminate. Not that ever crossed your mind, I'm sure, because I'm sure you had never was gonna process, but you were young at the time.
Yeah, I was young. Wasn't ready for it.
You got to talk to the mic, baby.
Oh, sorry.
She's still getting used to it.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, babe.
I was young. I wasn't ready for it. I was pretty much raised like not to be in that situation, like to get rid of a child, because it's a life. Some people are not ready to have that, so they decide to do that. It's the freedom. You have a freedom to do that, whether if I agree on it or not. So
Yeah, it's true. But the point that he's making, that abortion kills more kids every year than guns.
yeah, that's because they don't see. I call it. I'm trying to explain it. They don't see the life.
No.
They don't see in front of them. If they was to see the child in front of them, then they wouldn't do it.
Fair point.
So it's not fully grown. So to them, in their minds, they determine themselves. It's not fully grown. They can't feel no pain. They can't feel anything. They don't know this is what's going on. So that's why there's more death in that.
So what do you think, Ian?
That's what I think.
Hearing it from that perspective.
Like in the comparison, or just as abortion itself?
Yeah.
Kind of both, really, because it's the same thing.
I can't say whether abortion is right or wrong because I see like down the middle of it. I think that I can't see a right and wrong in it because I think we were all so everybody on Earth, okay? Everyone's got a different journey. Everyone's gonna have there's people who go through messed up situations. Exactly. So I don't think we were put like whether you agree with it or disagree with it, that's your personal belief. I ain't gonna crush you for it.
But still, my main question is, how come if a person kills a pregnant woman, they're charged with a double murder, but if a woman decides to kill the baby themselves, it's not murder? You understand?
Because I think,
well, if the woman is like pregnant, like showing it, like
nope, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter as long as if there is a fetus in her when she dies and the fetus dies, it is considered a double murder.
Well, some people will disagree with me. I don't think life starts at conception. That's just my opinion.
How do you prove that?
Because there's no, I don't. To me, you're not really alive unless you have cognitive functioning.
But they have proven that the fetuses do have cognitive function inside the womb. That's already been proven.
Like at 3 weeks, there's cognitive functioning?
They've proven that, yes. There's actually brain activity.
Well, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like if, say a person's on life support.
They're not showing brain...
but their heart is pumping. Like,
but that's brain dead. I'm telling you, the fetus is showing brain activity.
I just feel like...
that's not the same thing, because that's talking about a brain dead person that no longer... They're not waking up. Yes, their organs and everything still work, but their brain, there is no more cognitive function. Yes, the body is still there.
I get how people have an issue with abortion. My only problem with it, like if you say it's bad, okay, that's your personal belief. Mm-hmm. I just don't like each person has choices to make in their life. Some are big, some are small, some have positive consequences, some has negative. Mm-hmm. They got to deal with that decision for the rest of their life. Okay. So whether they're already punishing themselves internally, they don't need you punishing them. Mm-hmm. Understandable. They got to take it to the deathbed. Mm-hmm. They got to take it to the grave with them.
I find it has a gray area with this situation because there, let's say if a female gets raped. Yeah. And they go through a dramatic time. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have. They find out that they're pregnant. They don't want to have the baby because of what happened. See, that situation still falls under where most people go into safe, legal, and rare. That should be one of the rare occasions where she didn't have a choice. Most of the time, women go into the sexual relationship knowing full well what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're choosing not to use protection. They know that they could get pregnant, and they're using abortion as a form of birth control.
Some women also have to have abortions because their body's not healthy enough to carry the baby to term. Though.
Well, that's because if that's a chance that they're going to kill themselves by having that's another extreme that falls under the safe, legal, and rare that most people advocate for. If that's you see what I'm getting at.
I just think it's a bigger conversation.
It definitely is.
Right versus wrong.
Both of those situations, I agree with you. Yeah. But the girl that went out partying, knowing that it's exactly what she wanted to do, didn't want to use protection because it feels better, and then just wants to go to Planned Parenthood to get cleaned up because she didn't want to use protection. I don't agree with that. And then most women that have that go through that, they feel worse later in life because they can't have kids then.
I get it. I'm just, to me, to that woman, to that person who does that, I'm just going to be like, you may not necessarily be a shitty person. I didn't vibe with what you did, but I'm not going to sit here and demonize you for that.
No, I understand it's your choice. Right, I understand that's your choice, but still, that's still a life that didn't have a chance to say anything.
I get the conversation. The thing that makes me mad is when you have people who go like, "Oh, you had an abortion, you're going to hell." Shut the fuck up. Like but, you like.
But still,
it's not your role.
Even in places like New York, what about the ones that abort as the baby's being born?
I can't agree with it, but at the same time, my whole thing is I'm just not going to play God to another person's life.
That is playing God to another person's life.
No, but what I'm saying is to that person who did it, that's not my business. You got to live with that decision for the rest of your life.
I understand that, but
you don't need me throwing extra shit at you.
I understand that, but at that point, when are we crossing that line where we're actually going into actually murdering a person? When is it that we should be societally saying this should not be happening? Because what's the difference of someone aborting a 9-month-old baby as it's being born, as a mother having a 2-year-old deciding, I don't want to raise this no more?
Yeah, some people.
That's not a gray area.
Some people are just fucked up people.
Yeah, there is.
Some people can raise a kid for 18 years and not give a shit about the child.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand that.
They're just raising the kid because they're raising the kid because no one else wants to take. So they're just raising the child.
100%. Life's not fair all the time. So don't get me wrong.
True.
But the kid that you created, that you are about to abort, didn't ask to even be brought into the world, but you created it. Now it doesn't even get a chance to even at life.
But then you got some people who say, like, even women who are victims and survivors of sexual assault who end up pregnant. Some people still think the woman should be forced to have the kid.
See, those are the extreme, rare situations where that is an extreme situation.
And I'm like, well, that kid's mom didn't ask to be raped.
That's exactly it.
Like, no one
that was forced. That was forced upon her.
Yeah, that no one asked for that.
My whole thing is when she willingly goes into the situation. And then what about the father that wants to have his baby and he has no say? That's a whole nother situation. Is it not? How come
this is a tough conversation?
Oh, this is definitely a tough, and this is off of one bar, 13 seconds in.
You got people are probably like, y'all can hit the play button.
Trust me, I understand. But yes, and people are going to get in the comments. Yes, it is the woman's body and stuff, but she decided to get into that relationship with that guy. That kid is still half his. Whether you hate that man's guts or not, he still helped create whatever you're about to happen.
I mean, my whole thing is...
Hey, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys that don't give a damn about what the woman does. There is, but what about the ones that do? There are a bunch of guys that...
But then you got the gray areas of the dude who knocks up the chick, and then while she's pregnant and like for the first 6 years of his life, doesn't want anything to do with the kid, and out of nowhere, let me come be a father.
That's because the hard work's done. That's the hard work's done. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm talking about at the time when you're talking about aborting a life, and the dad's like, "That's my kid. What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's tough.
That is really tough.
That's tough. That's a tough decision.
Because then you just killed something that he wanted to raise. Even if you wanted to have no part of it, I want to raise them.
That's tough.
You know?
Hey, shit.
So there's a whole lot more around this conversation than just what's on the surface.
Yeah, people got to stop with the whole, you're going to stop with that, okay?
No.
It's more than that.
Because there's a lot more life situations. Honestly, it's more people that have wealth and money that get more abortions than anything. People want to think that it's a lot of it is and a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of it is the poor and lower income areas, but a lot of
rich people secretly do it. Mm-hmm. A lot of rich people do it
because a lot of those clinics are funded by what? It's not just government dollars. It's a lot of private donations.
True.
A lot of poor communities don't have enough money to be able to funnel into clinics like Planned Parenthood.
Like, so, I've never really fully read the Bible, but like anybody who's like majorly religious out there, does it say anything about abortion in the Bible? Just let me know, just for my own kid. Or
technically,
hit me up in the DM.
Well, it's considered technically to those people murder, so yes.
Oh, is that?
Murder is in the Bible, yeah.
I was just wondering if you said like,
but yes,
anything
it's
specifically like the text.
Yeah,
like,
yes, because they consider it murder, which murder is one of the forbiddable sins. I don't even go to church, and I know that little bit.
They consider lying a sin, so a whole lot of us ain't making it up.
No. That's one of no. I think it's one of the, like the 10 top like worst. I don't even remember what, but like one of the like evil sins is like murder, rape, something like whatever else. But whatever.
See, guys, this is what civil conversation looks like without yelling at each other. We'd be all good up in here, you know what I'm saying?
Do we agree on every little thing? No, of course not.
Tom looking like evil science.
All right, guys who are still here, we're going to just start the song over.
Jesus.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. When they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? When you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible and racist, it probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America?
If this country's so racist, why do so many immigrants want to come here? Why are so many people trying to kill themselves to get across the border if we're such a terrible nation?
I don't think the country's racist. I just think it's ran by racist people.
Well, yeah, look at who's in the White House right now. Probably one of the biggest racists that ever came across the thing. Look at what the man has said. But that's another conversation for another day.
But it's more than just him.
Oh, it's more than just him.
It's more than just. It's like you got your local people, you got your state people, then you got your national people.
That a lot of that can be changed if people actually look into who they're voting for and not just vote down a goddamn party line.
Like, if you change the president, everything. Not
necessarily.
You still got a Senate, you got a House of Representatives, you still got all that shit, bro.
You got a lot more. You got to change.
That's what I'm saying.
But we can keep on going with tangents. But yeah. Again, but still, why would so many immigrants want to keep coming to this country if it was such a terrible country?
This is a fair point.
I mean, the Democrats keep pushing how racist and terrible we are, and yet people are flooding across that border trying to come across this country. Why? Wouldn't people be trying to get the hell out of this country if it was so terrible? Especially immigrants. If it were so terrible to immigrants, wouldn't they be trying to get the hell out of this country?
There's more freedom in this country.
Exactly.
More than other countries.
Yeah, more.
But not if you listen to the news. Minorities have no rights if you listen to the news.
Ooh, excuse me.
Why would you come to a place where you'd have less rights than where you live? Where you're treated like less than dirt? Where people look down and trample upon you? Why would you want to come here if that was the case?
Read the gray areas, people. Read into these gray areas.
God damn, Tom is on point.
Even though we blight, it's not just black and white.
Yeah. No, it's brown too. But
I'm in the middle too.
True. Hey.
Notice that?
True.
We get darker.
Liz on to something over here. You know what I'm saying? She on to something.
Tom's on point. He's 16 seconds into a 3-minute song. God damn.
Cheers.
Terrible and racist. It probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans.
That's just sad.
No, but it's like I don't even think like they hate it. It's just like
they do.
Some of y'all just don't educate yourself.
Ian, kids are being educated to hate this country. They don't.
Know what they have.
Because
if they go to another country, they're gonna run right back into the United States.
But also, it's the same thing with like a lot of people who say like, oh, I see why people say America's the greatest country on. I get it. I do think America's the greatest. I do. But at the same time, a lot of people who say that, you were born here and lived here your whole life. You never lived in any other country. That's like saying Florida's the best state Ian, in the country, and you've never been to any other state.
Ian, a lot of citizens from a lot of other countries say this is the best country in the world.
But yeah, but they've lived in 2 different countries. Like, say you had somebody coming from the Middle East who's lived there for 20 years, and then they came to America, and then they can make the comparison. Yeah, a lot of people here who are born here can't make the comparison.
Because nobody here wants to leave to go live in another country.
Because of the issues that we hear about in the other countries.
That's true, too.
I mean, just think about what you just said there, Ian.
That's a fair point.
Of course, people are trying to get the hell out of other shithole countries to come to this one.
I was just looking at it, it's kind of like if you only listen to like one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
People don't want to live under that.
Go ask a Cuban how much they love this country.
That's true. That's fair.
There are Cuban nationalists that weren't born here that have more allegiance to America than they ever would to Cuba.
That's fair. I gotta give you that.
There's Venezuelans that are here that would die for the American flag before they would the Venezuelan because of how much they've been able to succeed here. But exactly what you just said. Why can't Americans compare to other countries because they haven't lived there?
I was just looking at different perspectives.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying there. But why can't we? You're saying we can't judge England, Germany, or any of these other countries because we never lived there, but they're allowed to judge us because they've come over here?
That's a fair point. See, guys, I'm not saying whether my opinion is right or wrong. No. I'm just saying I'm looking at different viewpoints. That's all.
I'm just challenging it.
You can agree. You can agree with me, disagree with me. You can challenge me. You can say I'm dumb. I don't. I'm just giving different perspectives.
I'm just challenging to show we can have civil discourse without getting annoyed at each other. I'm cool with that. Like, we're having civil discourse here.
I'm cool with that. I know I'm not right. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right about everything in the world.
But some of the times you can't sit on the fence either and be in the middle on any of these situations because sometimes you have to take a hard stance.
That's true. There's something. Yeah, some things you got to believe in something.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying.
You do.
I see what you're saying.
Especially when it comes to your love of country. You either believe and love your country or you don't.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair point.
And it's sad that right now more Americans hate this country than the actual immigrants that live here.
Do they hate the country or do they hate the people running it?
It's more so the people running the country are forcing them to believe that this country is something that it's not. There's forces at work that are making them hate the country when they should be hating the people that are running the country.
I can see you on that one. Okay.
Because look at cities like Chicago, Detroit. If they actually blame the people that were running their cities into the ground, maybe their cities wouldn't be some of the worst cities to live in this country.
Okay, that's fair.
New York. Those top, especially Chicago and Detroit. They've been under the same party rule for the past 50 years or more. When you only have one perspective, that's what happens. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
There needs to be change up. I understand that. It shouldn't just be Republicans running something forever unless they're doing the right thing.
I see what you mean.
But if your city is continually deteriorating and things are getting worse, murder rates are going, shouldn't you change something up? Why are you putting the same people back in power that have the power to change things if nothing's changing?
Yeah, I gotta agree. Okay, that's a good point.
You have to look at actually what people are doing and not just the color of their skin.
I see what you mean by that. That's fair.
There's too many people that get into power and just take money to do what somebody else wants them to do instead of what's right. There's not enough people that are in politics to do what's right. There's too many people that are trying to get their goddamn palm greased.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the problem with politics today.
People get a little taste of that money and power and they can't say no to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what.
And the first time they accept something, they're owned.
Yeah, it's the money and the power thing. People get a little taste of it and they don't want to stop.
Predictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans. Trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings. He, she, his, him, hers, them, they. Screw up pronouns, cause everyone's a retard these days. You're at the protest that hate.
He's not wrong.
Bro, like,
if you guys, whoever's still here, I please appreciate it because we going in on this one.
Sometimes people just need to shut the fuck up and mind their business. Like, sometimes you got to.
Again, we've said it before. What you do in your bedroom and your privacy of your own home, cool. You don't got to throw it in anybody's face.
Just honestly.
As long as you accept what you're doing, why do you need your neighbor to accept what you're doing? Stay in your lane. Stay to yourself.
Like, some people just need to mind their own business.
If your neighbor's butting into your life, that's when you need to say something to him. But you don't need to go to your neighbor. Guess what I'm doing? You need to like it. No, you don't need to do that. There's no reason to do that.
Like people think some people think the whole world's gonna end because you got gay people. Like shut
no,
up, bro. Like there was gay people during Jesus Christ time. Calm the fuck down. The world didn't end, did it? No.
No, they've been around. It's been around forever.
How do you know there weren't gay cavemen?
I'm sure there was.
Like how the fuck? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
who the hell? It's
you weren't there at that time, so how do you know what happened? Like
you love who you love. You can't help it sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. You just love who you love, man.
There's them days, screw up pronouns, cause everyone's a retard these days. Here preaching at the protest that hates is the problem. But hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight.
Yep.
I guess you gotta be less white, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what Coca-Cola did. You remember we talked about that, where they sent the training video out to their members telling them they need to be less white.
Oh, that was the Coca-Cola.
That was Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Be less white, Vito. Come
yeah.
on. Come on, man. Come on.
I don't know.
How do you be like?
But you got companies preaching one thing and doing another.
How do you be less white?
I don't know.
Are you supposed to go like sit on the sun for a very long time?
But dude, if I try to act like another culture, I'm appropriating, and that's even more worse.
Does that mean you have to be less Hispanic, Liz? But like, how do you do that?
I don't know.
How do you be less black?
I don't know.
Listen,
no
I was told on this channel that I'm not black unless I'm, you know, so. Like, I was, you know, so I don't know.
Just say it.
Y'all told me to give head to be black, so some people say, I don't fucking understand. I'm just help me understand. Well, I don't get how Vito's supposed to be less white. Is he supposed to darken his light?
See, it goes back to the problem is the media has so many people caring about fucking skin color than the actual merit of a person. Skin color doesn't mean a goddamn thing about the heart of a person.
They're trying to dig up what was buried.
Yes.
What was buried was, the past. What happened back then. What happened, happened. Leave it alone.
You need to move forward.
Need to move forward. There's always going to be racism, no matter what.
But I'm sorry, I never had no slave. I never.
It wasn't your fault.
Exactly. I never owned a person. I never told no person that they had to do something for me.
So if you're not supposed to be Hispanic, what are you supposed to be? Not.
I think. Well, we're all people.
True.
At the end of the day,
I don't understand.
We're all Homo sapiens.
We all got homeostasis, man.
Homo sapien is the actual scientific name for human.
We all got. If you don't got a heart in you, I don't know what's keeping you alive because you got to pump the blood through you.
We'll tell that to the Tin Man.
That's true. That man was walking around dancing, man.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and the straw man didn't have brains, so that's another one.
So how do you come up with ideas? Magic,
dude.
Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight.
That's another one. People like Antifa on the other side. You start to have a conversation.
Yeah.
On one side, if they don't agree with you, they instantly get angry and want to attack you.
I told you to be less white, Vito.
Dude, a guy like Ben Shapiro shows up at a college to speak, and they want to tear the place down because they say his words are violent.
Or just don't go watch the man speak.
Exactly.
I'm not signing up to go see David Duke.
Exactly.
I'm not signing up. Who's the other guy? Richard Spencer, the young, he's like 30 or something, and he's rude and racist and shit.
I don't know. I don't follow racists, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's like if you don't like those, don't go see them.
But if you have a disagreement, you don't need to come to blows just because someone has a different idea than you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to call somebody incorrectly a racist. I don't know if I said the name Richard Spencer correctly. I just heard bad reputations about the name.
Oh, I bet there's a Richard Spencer out there that's super racist. Let it go. Richard Spencer just sounds like a racist name, okay?
Let me know if I'm incorrect on that. I'm not 100% sure.
See, Richard Spencer just sounds like a person that is just like super racist, okay? If I had to think of like the perfect racist, the name Richard Spencer just comes to mind. Okay?
Okay. Fair point. Got you.
Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers.
That's a problem too. How come how come it's only racist every 4 years? Once every 4 years.
You know.
How come the black lives only matter every 4 years when they need the black vote to win?
It's a point, honestly. Y'all don't care about it until it's election time. Y'all really don't give a shit until it's election time, for real.
And how's the black community ever improved after they've won anything? I believe black unemployment was at its lowest ever under Donald Trump, not under any Democrat president.
I don't know the statistic numbers. I can't respond to that statement. Just my I don't know the statistic numbers.
I know that's a fact.
Bella, why do you keep kicking me?
Because women employment and minority unemployment was also the lowest ever under Donald Trump.
Bella, why are you kicking me? What did I do?
She's stretching. Let her be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love you.
She's like, pet me!
I love you, Bella.
We all love Bella. Mm-hmm. Even you guys love Bella. We know.
War here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country, and every one of us benefits. Give welfare to the bums and forget about the veterans. Black folks who.
That's another problem.
Well, I'm gonna say this: both sides struggle to even give the veterans the respect they deserve.
Oh yeah,
like that's all to get. Like the men just expect them to be fine when they come home.
The men and women that gave their minds and their souls for this country.
Like.
Because these men and women give up their souls to be able to go and kill and...
Yeah, when they come back, they're not the same.
No.
The human brain is not constructed to see limbs being blown off, kids being shot at.
Dude, we weren't meant to kill each other, and to be trained to be a killing. You give up a piece of your soul when you get trained to go kill a human being.
I think a lot of citizens and a lot of politicians, y'all don't realize what they see over there.
No,
y'all don't realize what war is.
Dude, most of these politicians, if they had to send their kids into this situation, they wouldn't make it to half the decision.
Yeah, put it this way: when it was back in the day and your ass got drafted, you had to fucking go. If you didn't go, your ass went to jail.
Dude, that's the sad part is most of these politicians are ready to send your kids to war.
Exactly, but they living up in their big ass mansions, all safe and sound.
And they make sure they put provisions in to protect their own kids from the draft.
But see, then you come back. You get veterans who come back. Okay, they have anxiety. Oh! Hold up!
Forgot that was there. Spill the drink, guys. Spill the drink.
I got you. Need a towel or something? We good?
No, this should be fine, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, hey, I spilled a beer on my Xbox one time. Had a freaking panic attack. Let me tell you. Yep. Let me tell you.
It was just under the screen. We're good.
Yeah, we good.
No electronics were harmed in the making of this video.
Is it still recording?
We are still recording.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about that.
No electronics were harmed.
In the making of this video.
No. We wouldn't do that.
Electronic lives matter.
If we ever harmed any electronics.
That's a good one. Electronic lives matter.
Electronic lives matter.
If we ever harmed electronics, we would make sure we do it on camera for your benefit.
We were talking about the vets.
The vets definitely need more support in this country.
They come back, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and y'all just expect them to be like, take a nap, you'll feel better. Like,
they expect them to transition back into natural.
It's like the same thing with someone who does time in prison for a long time. They're not gonna. It's an adjustment period to come back into society.
The sad part is most of the prisoners that have been in prison for a long time, they decide to stay in prison because it's easier and that's the life they know.
They're used to the structure.
The sad part is most veterans, they need that structure.
Yeah.
And when they come back and they're not in a situation where they have like the structure, they fall apart.
True. Right. True. The brain just, without even realizing it, gets used to it.
we don't do enough. Even if you look at some of the veteran homes that they even have, the retirement homes, they're the broken down facilities that are some of the worst places for these guys.
I know some neighborhoods and states are actually really respectful. They say, we realize it's 4th of July. Please do not light fireworks in this neighborhood. We have veterans who live here.
Yeah. Because
you don't know who has PTSD.
Yep.
You can set somebody off with just a firecracker.
Yeah. Exactly. They hear a certain thing in there.
And they can't help it.
You don't understand what some of these guys have gone through.
Yeah, they can't help it.
What some of these guys have seen, we can't even fathom. Some of the movies can't even make it even close to what it is.
I know when Saving Private Ryan came out, they opened it. They had a private showing for veterans. A lot of them had to leave the theaters because they said it was too realistic. Mm-hmm. It just put them back
where they were.
They couldn't deal with it.
Couldn't do it.
Country and every one of us benefits. Get welfare to the bones and forget about the veterans. Black folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed.
We're all the same.
I gotta say amen to that, brother.
God damn, we're pausing after every goddamn line with this. Everyone's going like,
we know it's a long one.
This is what we do here, guys.
Yeah,
listen, our burden one was long the other day too.
So. We knew this one was gonna be. He's probably offended so many people, and I'm loving this. This is vintage Tom, though.
Yep.
This is vintage Tom.
Folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too. Y'all are so.
Yep. The real Americans are ashamed of the people that are freaking ashamed of being American.
Damn.
You shouldn't be ashamed to love your country.
There's a lot of shit up in this one, man. A lot of conversation.
Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too. Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes. They set us up to fail, that's what they built the system for. Put an ammunition shop across the street from a liquor store. Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole.
Yep.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie though. I seen the deposits the girls make on OnlyFans. Y'all be making bank.
Wasn't we talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
Them girls be buying, bro. I can't hate on it. Cause those, bro, they really be like.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like when they put out like.
But it's not. But he's talking about how are they the role models for these little girls?
I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't like their job's not to be a role model. If you want them to be a role model, that's just on you looking in the wrong place. They didn't sign up to be a role model.
But that's what they put out there. That's what they put out there as. That this is what
sells anyway. You can't. You're never gonna stop that.
That's what he's saying. The problem is.
People like sex. That's going to sell no matter what you do.
Exactly. But that shouldn't be what you should be striving to be as a little girl.
To me, if you're a little girl looking up to it, that's a parenting problem. Parent your child better. That's not on the strippers.
Not only that, but being in a household is one thing, and then being out there with other friends and their influence.
See, like what?
And that parents not knowing what's going on.
Parents can only shelter the kid from so damn much. Like kids are gonna like when it comes to as messed up as this.
But what he's saying, it's society that's pushing them as the role models.
Yeah.
Society shouldn't be pushing women like that as role models.
For instance, Cardi B. Young girls are listening to Cardi B.
Society pushes Cardi B as a role model for young women. That's not the parents.
If you see Cardi B as a role model, put it this way, if you younger than 16 and you see Cardi B as a role model, to me that's parenting. If you older than 16, like if you like,
but Ian, that's the problem. Parents aren't there all the time when kids are out with their friends listening to the radio, the TV. Promotion like everywhere. They're telling that's what the problem. That's what we're saying.
You're never going to change that.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
the problem is society shouldn't be pushing that. Society should be pushing women that are like doctors, lawyers that are. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, and I agree with you on that.
Quite honestly, Nancy Pelosi is a better woman role model, a powerful woman, and actually is doing something. I can't stand Nancy Pelosi, but she is more of a role model towards what women should be striving to be than Cardi B.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I get why people are angry with it, but at the same time,
Tulsi Gabbard is more of a role model than that.
You are never. It's the same thing. You're never going to completely eliminate racism, and you're never going to get rid of the concept of sex sells. It just sells.
No, I understand that.
It's just it's
because too much money's made on it. I understand that.
And everybody
but
likes.
He's pointing out the hypocrisy.
No, sure, I get it. I get it.
Into light of what's going on.
But that's not a parenting issue if that's what society's pushing. Do you see what he's getting at? You're going against mainstream.
I can understand that.
You're asking parents to fight what everyone around them is telling them to do.
Hi, Belle. Hi.
Hi. You got something to say?
Yeah, I know. We're gonna put Tom back on. She wants to listen to the song too, guys. We know. We keep hitting pause. We're sorry.
Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole. Screw it, I ain't tripping. I don't mean to be mean, but my children are the future. Then our future is bleak. They taking Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep.
Ooh.
The line providing communism and democracy. 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. The men playing women's sports.
We blame the what as Nazis?
We paint the patriots as Nazis.
Oh, I was like, I just didn't hear the word he said before.
Oh yeah, they're trying to say that when the patriots that fought the Revolutionary War were the bad guys. That's the new narrative going.
Y'all need to understand something. There's multiple. There's multiple ways to show patriotism. Y'all need to. Patriotism isn't just doing one thing. Like there isn't just one way to show patriotism. There's multiple ways to show love. There's multiple ways to show respect. There's multiple ways to show love to your country. Stop making it has to be one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Stop making that shit. I'm Seriously. Who said the revolution?
That's just what the woke crowd is going around now because they became the colonizers that became whatever they hate colonizing for.
That's like when people said people tore down the Ulysses S. Grant even though he couldn't stand slavery. Which made no freaking sense.
Because history isn't being taught to these kids anymore. Nobody is actually understanding the history of this country.
No one does. No one.
So when you don't understand history, when you don't know history, you make it up.
True.
That's why Ulysses S. Grant gets pulled down. That's why Abe Lincoln.
President.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That's why Abe Lincoln gets defaced. Because people don't know what these men are.
Fair.
Some people are just ignorant. And
oh yeah.
Just follow.
But the media fuels the ignorance.
But see, the thing that screws up is a kid can be going to school. The school will teach them one thing. Then the kid goes home. And then the parents go, "That's wrong. This is what really happened." So sometimes kids don't know what the hell to believe.
True,
but there's a lot of schools that are just There's a lot of schools that are just pushing their own agenda. How many teachers? I mean, look at that teacher that just got fired for berating that student for saying that cops are heroes.
I think it's pretty funny they don't teach you about Black Wall Street in school.
But they do. I learned about Black Wall Street.
At least in my school, I didn't. I think it depends on where you are.
See, that's the problem.
In my school, I didn't learn about Black Wall Street until I got to college.
See, that's the sad part.
They didn't teach me that in high school.
They actually need to teach properly the history. The dark and the light.
Yeah, like with Christopher Columbus. If you're gonna teach about Christopher Columbus, tell everything he did. Not that he just came to America and saw land. Tell everything he did. Like example, Martin Luther King. Tell everything he did.
Yeah.
With Abraham Lincoln, tell everything he did.
Tell the whole story, not the half the story.
Yeah, don't just pick the pieces that sound the best to teach people.
But again, if you judge any of the past with today's standards, they're all going to look like evil men.
Yeah, because things just change over time.
Standards and everything. But if you judge somebody from the 50s with today's standards, they look like a sexist, monogynistic man.
True.
And women would be looked at as weak and pathetic and just catering to their man.
A lot of people don't realize women can be misogynistic too.
Oh yeah.
It's not just men. Women do it too. Women can do it too. No misogyny is not good.
Not good. Not good.
Be me, when my children are the future, then our future is bleak. They take an Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep. They blur the lines dividing communism and democracy. 2021, we paint the Patriots as Nazis. The men playing women's sports get trophies for winning. Like great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women. If you're black, your life matters, you're supposed to embrace it.
See, that's the thing I don't agree with. If you decide to be transgender, that's your choice. I understand that. You shouldn't get to go compete against natural born women and beat them. Take scholarships from actual women. You see where I'm coming with that?
What if the natural born woman's more athletic than the transgender?
And go back and look at the last few track winners of high school. No natural born woman has had a shot in hell at beating the transgender that has transferred into any of them in any of the major categories. Go look at all the national winners.
That's never happened.
No. Go look at the last female wrestler that had in the top category. No one's been able to beat her either for the past 4 years.
Is it messed up? Okay, so you have like men's sports and then women's sports. Let me know. I'm just asking a question. Would it be messed up to have like a sports organization for transgender individual? Like
no, that wouldn't be messed up at all.
Is that wrong? Does that sound wrong to anyone?
But see,
that way everyone could just have sports. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but if you're especially in high school and college where you shouldn't be if you decide to do that, that's great, 100% your choice. But you shouldn't go take a spot from a natural born, either male or female, on a sports team. Even if you want to play that sport, I understand that, but you shouldn't have a top priority over them. You see where I'm coming at with that?
I can understand. I mean, personally, in my personal,
because of the way they're built.
Right.
Personally, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just talking about for conversation and things.
And I see how it goes because people are saying, "What about the woman that becomes a man? Shouldn't she go into a man's sport and compete?" She can. She's not going to do anything. That's happened. They don't compete well. They're not performing at top levels. But if you look at the other way where men go to women, they dominate the sport. Men are just naturally physically stronger. They are. Go and look it up.
The only way that a female could be like equally as strong is if she start lifting weights.
Even then,
some women can whoop your ass, bro.
Yeah,
you're talking about. I know, but you're talking about a very slim minority.
No, I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
An average transgendered woman, a man who transitions to a woman, 9 out of 10 times is going to beat any natural born woman. I guarantee it.
I don't necessarily know how the science works and everything.
I'm telling you, go look. People can challenge me in the comments to go look up the last national winners of all the major high school sports that had a transgendered person in the competition. They dominated. The girl had no chance.
Please, honestly, no. Please let us. I don't know anything about this. So
that's why it's a huge. Let me know. Why else would it be a huge topic then?
I also just think for some reason people fear transgender people. I'm like, why do you?
There's no reason to fear it. I understand.
You just don't understand it. That's why.
But it's not fair. It's not fair to natural born women and honestly, it's not fair to the transgendered woman that becomes a man. Because even though she goes and competes on the men's teams, but go and look at those people. They're nowhere near. They're not dominating anything. They're not gaining. They're not winning every single category that they're in, like the man transitioning to a woman.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, Ian, go and do a broader research and look into it.
I'm not gonna look that up.
We have to research too.
Like great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women. If you're black, your life matters, you're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave, all of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming
That is a problem. Every single time someone looks at a white person, they're considered racist now. Because that's what the media is saying. All white people are racist. Kids are being taught that their family is racist. It's happening in schools where kids are going home being told that their grandparents were racist, whether they were or weren't.
I feel like that word's just being thrown around, like very, like it's being thrown like $1 bills, man.
Everything is becoming racist now. Everything is racist.
Careful. It's like walking on eggshells. You just
doesn't matter what you're doing, you're racist now.
That's the reason things are tough. When you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks, you're supporting what you stand against. You don't think you are, but a Percocet addict don't donate money to pharma. Damn dog, we're all afraid to speak the truth, and the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
I like that hook.
Who is that?
Is that Nova? That's not Nova.
That's not Nova, nah.
Is that his sister? That's his sister, isn't it, from the other video?
Her name is, I think, Blair.
Is that his sister?
Blair White.
I've never seen her before.
I think
she looks like the YouTube. Okay, so it's different.
Yeah.
Blair White, isn't she a transgender?
I think so. She actually talks about that.
Yeah,
like
she's
I watched 2 videos of that.
Yes, that's I know that name.
Wait, go back. Is it? Maybe that is her.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
No, it is.
It is.
It's Blair White. Oh, okay. She looked it up. Okay, she looked it up. She knows.
Liz's like, no, it is.
No, it's this chick, right? You know, and then.
Okay, so she is a transgender.
Yeah, she's a YouTuber, and she talks about that stuff.
Okay.
Hey, Shorty, do your thing up there in the music videos. I see you. Get your shine on.
No stopping. Everybody's wrong, that's a real problem. They don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Soon enough, we run.
Yo, Shorty really getting her time on the internet.
We ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. I don't know how we can make amends if we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid. Y'all are snowflakes. Oh no, the forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no, no more snowflakes.
Yo, Nova shout out Nova Rockefeller. She be killing it with the videos, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she do.
And she's an underrated artist.
Make sure that he doesn't have like a message at the end or something.
You should have let Blair say something. You know what I'm saying? Like she should have got like a little spoken word moment and stuff. That'd been cool.
I think she just wanted her time. Yeah. No, there's nothing there. Okay.
I mean, she was mouthing the hook, so you know what I'm saying. She had something. Yeah. She had something, which is good.
But interesting because he had a transgender in the video, so people can't even say.
People probably had an issue with that.
You know how many people are going to sit there and say he's hating on transgenders, and then he's going to be like, "Huh?"
Like she's dancing in the video, minding her business. But
he hit on some sensitive topics, and that we went long on this because we go in on conversations here.
For real. Like I said, watch the Burden video we just did. I think it was like 51 minutes. For 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Well, we were browsing through the comments, and it's sad that it's a Canadian standing up for America more than Americans.
Yeah. He even knows what's going on more than Americans do, which is.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people just choose to like not look.
Well, people exactly. They choose to ignore it.
People are being lazy.
People know what's happening. They just choose not to look at it
because they think it's not affecting them until it's too late. And it's affecting them.
Especially what's going on in politicians and stuff like that.
That's why some
think it's boring, and they just skip it. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why
they don't educate themselves with that.
Yeah, social issues that don't give. That's why it seems like the same thing keeps happening over. People don't care about something unless it's personally affecting them.
Exactly.
They don't see it as an if it's affecting 1,000 other people, as long as it's not touching me, I don't care about them.
Exactly.
And that's a problem itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, it's a problem in and of itself.
We're supposed to take care of each other.
As a nation, we're supposed to take care of each other.
100%.
We're supposed to look out for each other.
100%.
Man.
Because that's the whole thing about being America. Being an American, it doesn't matter your color, creed, and sexual preference.
We all got to live in this country together, man.
The great melting pot for a goddamn reason.
Yup.
Diversity is a beautiful thing.
Amen.
When you actually allow diversity.
Amen. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this one.
Thanks for stopping and spending some time with us today.
Like, comment, subscribe, blow us up. Y'all know what to do.
Hit that notification bell. Give this a share because it does help the channel out.
Please and thank you.
And hey, see y'all on the next one.
Later.
Bye.